live. What's good, Ohio Cannabis Report? Community and family, man. We tapping in for a random night session. I got some energy, so I figured I'd tap in, man. And we're a few days out um, from March 20th, which is the date that SB 56 goes into effect. So I got the wrong thing on there. March 16th to 17th. And so, just a quick disclaimer, Ohio Cannabis Report is an independent media and entertainment platform. My name is Gerald Moore Jr. I'm the host and founder of Ohio Cannabis Report, and this is my opinion, my thoughts and opinions. This is not legal advice. This is not business advice. This is not health advice. So please contact those folks that are in those spaces. This is for entertainment and informational purposes only. And we appreciate everybody who tunes in. I want to thank all of our subscribers on YouTube. I believe we're up to like 330 subs on YouTube. So I appreciate everybody's support. Our old Instagram is at like 1,000, couple thousand. Facebook's is getting up there as well, and then our new Instagram is at about 300. So really want to thank everybody who subscribed to any of the platforms that we're on. Thanks to the folks who have subscribed to us on Substack. I've been doing more work on there as well. We also have a podcast, so if you listen to podcasts, just type in Ohio Cannabis Report, and I'm updating and adding some more content on our podcast as well. So if you like to listen to content, please check out our most recent interviews with Senator Bill DeMora and also Joey Elwood, who is founder of App Girls Cannabis and also a committee member for SB 56. If anybody else would like to come on the platform, I like to do an open call. Just contact me. The email is at the bottom of the screen scrolling. You could send tips, you could send requests. If you want to come on, just send your bio, send a photo, let me know who you are, of course. But we love having different people on. So Ohio Cannabis Report at gmail.com. We love to have on different guests. I actually just got off a call with Kat Packer, who is an Ohio State University. She works at their Drug Enforcement Policy Center, and she's done a lot of cannabis advocacy work and policy work in California, but she is a Columbus native, and so she's been back here for a few years. So we just got off of a call, really exciting. She says she's going to be able to make it to the Central Ohio Cannabis Social Equity Forum. I'll do a promo for that real quick too. So April 4th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., I'm organizing the Central Ohio Cannabis Social Equity Forum and panel discussion. We have a great panel lined up for you guys, folks from Athens, Ohio, folks from Dayton and Columbus, hitting a lot of different pockets. We have a veteran, 2 Black men. We have Athens woman, Sarah Coyer Bryant, small business owner, advocate. We have Tasha Roundtree, who specializes in harm reduction and community advocacy. And then we have Anthony Riley, who runs Ohio Cannabis Live, which is another great platform that you guys should definitely be subscribed to if you're interested in Ohio cannabis news. He also runs and is hosting the Ohio Cannabis Expo, which will be in Hilliard, suburb of Columbus. I'll actually be hosting and being on a panel for athletes in cannabis during that function. So a lot of great weaving and interconnecting of different people, but really excited to have this group of people together just to share their experiences, their perspective on the current landscape of cannabis in Ohio, to also talk about the social equity piece, also just talk about like, how do we move forward? Obviously, if SB 56 goes into law March 20th, if they don't get all of the signatures. If they do get all the signatures, we still need to be creating coalitions and creating conversation and momentum around some of these issues that are impacting a lot of people in the cannabis community. Also, with this being a governor's race, obviously Vivek Ramaswamy, Amy Acton, we don't really know. At least I haven't heard a lot about um, their thoughts and ideas on cannabis. Obviously, Vivek Ramaswamy, I'm assuming, is going to fall right in line with the GOP Republican Party, which again, they pretty much one band, one sound. He's been endorsed by Trump. Amy Acton is a doctor by trade. So again, there's still a lot of things that you have to deal with when it comes to doctors and obviously cannabis consumers that smoke. If you're in the medical field, you understand that combustion isn't the best thing for people, period, whether it's nicotine, whether it's cannabis. So that could be also a conflict of things with her as well. So it'll be interesting to see. But that's why it's also up to us, the cannabis community, those that are on the ground, those that are home growers, those that have been using cannabis, or those that are caretakers, to really expand our knowledge, but also expand our footprint and how we engage with the community. I believe, there's a lot of people that talk about, oh, I grow the best weed, but it's like, okay, what makes your weed the best, right? Like, why? Like, what makes your weed good for this? What makes your weed good for that? What makes, what's in your, I think, what are the terpenes? What do the terpenes do? Because again, yeah, people consume for recreational purposes, right? Just to feel good, just to go out. But also, there's a lot of people that are consuming cannabis for a specific purpose and reason. And even those that may be doing it recreationally don't even realize, hey, I'm doing it to, help with this feeling that makes me feel better, right? People take antidepressants. Um, so I think it's important that people start to expand more so just like, oh, I smoke weed, or going to the flea market or farmer's market where we just get weed. It's like, all right, make it more of an experience where people are learning more about the grow process. People are learning more about terpenes. What's special about this terpene? What's special about your genetics? You know what I mean? It has to be more of a holistic experience outside of I'm just trying to push some weed. But that's also why it's important that people that are local growers, craft growers, be in the fight politically, because now they're about to shut down all of those farmers markets. You're about to shut down all of the festivals, right? Like right before springtime, right? SB 56 goes into law right before all the festivals, outdoor festivals, right before the weather gets nice, music festivals where people are going to publicly consume. But a lot of times we're not seeing these local growers, these smaller growers at the political level, which again, the money that you're making should be going towards some of this policy work so that you can keep doing what you're doing, right? And be able to get those craft grow licenses, be able to get those smaller storefronts, or be able to sell your product to a dispensary, or be able to get your own dispensary. So again, a lot of people have to understand politics is everything. And if you're not involved in politics, politics will screw you. You know what I mean? And a lot of people think, oh, I'm not involved in politics. Okay. So you were selling weed. Now it's going to be illegal to do that. Right. It was already illegal to do it, but now you're not helping the cause. Right. The goal should be, all right, we want, just like you're going to be a barber, right? If you want to be a professional barber, you got to go get a license, right? If you want to have a barber shop, you want to expand your brand, you got to do certain things to allow you to do that. All right. So we should be fighting for smaller licenses, craft grow licenses, tier 3 dispensaries, tier 3 craft grow licenses, right? Processing licenses, smaller craft growers. So again, if we all come together and fight for that, we have way more of a backing than just 40 people, right? I'm not a grower. I've been doing the media stuff. All right. You know what I mean? So like I try to support everybody, but then everybody comes with me. I'm like, I don't fucking know. Like, you know what I mean? But it's like, again, you have all the growers that are in constant competition with each other. So then you have constant beef here and there. So now it's just a bunch of people, crabs in the barrel mentality. They're like, so is it? And that's why I don't really get engaged with a lot of people, because a lot of people will end up, there's group chats that we have, and there's people always just butting heads in the group chat. You know what I mean? It's like, at the end of the day, like, is this really what we're here for? To be fighting about little stuff? Like, of course, everybody has a differencing of opinion and how things should go, right? But at the end of the day, everybody's losing right now. Unless you're the multimillionaires that own the dispensaries or the cultivators, you know what I mean? If some of the dudes, on the legacy market been running it up. Niggas been opening dispensaries and all right, niggas about to be getting raided quick. They about to be raiding these dispensaries, these hemp shops. They got to take all the hemp products off the shelves. And a part of SB 56 is like, you got to sell all of your products in the dispensary now. So wraps, you know what I mean, devices to consume. Now all of those got to be sold out of the dispensary. So it's not just going to close down people who've been in legacy. It's going to close down people, all your head shops that your late night, you can go get some blunt wraps. You can go get some spray. You can go get whatever. All them spots is going to have to take down all that product off them shelves. That's what SB 56 is doing. And so it's important, man, that a lot of people pay attention to, what's going on. I've tried to facilitate as much as I could on this platform. You know what I mean? Like, this shit takes a lot of energy, and effort and consistency, obviously. But it can be tiring, bro. Like, we got what it do. But again, keeping up with all of the information, reading the articles, like I actually was going to the state house. I got a family. You know what I mean? Like, spend time with your kids. But to also try to understand the laws, understand the people and the policies that's making the laws. You know what I mean? And so my goal obviously is to build Ohio Cannabis Report out to be something that's truly official, right? We have some program directors, we got some reporters all over, people writing articles and stuff like that. But I'm also the type of person, like, I don't like to do like the intern or like pay for exposure. You know what I mean? Because again, like, everybody needs to be able to eat. You know what I mean? And so for me right now, like, I can't pay somebody to do the work because this work is like, I haven't done any type of advertising, right? The event that we're hosting, it's going to be the first event that I'm doing where I'm even asking for donations, right? And so, like, even on these platforms, like, I don't ask for money because, like, I just do it. And I feel like once money becomes attached to it, then there's expectations, and it's, for me, it's just like it became a passion project. I do accept support. You know what I mean? If people do want to support, donate, I often run the banner down here. Like, you can donate to my Cash App. You know what I mean? At the top of the screen, $ G13 Ventures on Cash App. You know what I mean? I don't know how to do it on the YouTube. I don't know if I've allowed for the super chat and all of that stuff. But again, I'm still learning, man. Like, it's a growth process, and I appreciate everybody who's been here on the ground floor with me as we've been following this cannabis industry and politics and all the changes that have been happening. Let me see some stuff. We're also on LinkedIn too. So if you're LinkedIn, I do post some content over there. Just type in Ohio Cannabis Report, and you'll find us pretty much any platform: Facebook, YouTube, um, Instagram, TikTok, Threads. We're on there. So here's some news that we'll talk about. Let me zoom in. So Perrysburg to draft long-term decision on whether to allow cannabis-related businesses. Perrysburg, Ohio, the looming expiration of Perrysburg moratorium on cannabis and marijuana related businesses led council to a vote on an emergency measure Tuesday night. If council did not intervene, the moratorium would end April 16th, 2026. Quote, I think people have to think about what kind of community they want to have, said council member and planning and zoning chair Tim McCarthy. After a discussion on the merits of moratorium, council and citizens expressed the need for a long-term solution. One resident was concerned about how dispensaries could impact the community. Quote, I'd not only like to see the moratorium, I'd just like to not see any here at all, the woman said. Some council members agreed, while others said they would be open to having a special permit. Quote, I will more than likely be advocating for the allowance, said Council Member Corey Coleman. Let's see.
Posing this question.
Perrysburg City Council focused on a different kind of green this St. Patrick's Day. Pot. Once again, leaders are debating whether to allow cannabis dispensaries in the city.
13 Action News reporter Lily Lowndes has the story new tonight.
Lee and Christian, council felt like they needed to come to a vote tonight as the moratorium on cannabis dispensaries was set to expire in April. An emergency measure on the table at Perrysburg City Council. The clock was ticking for members to decide. Should they keep the moratorium on cannabis and marijuana businesses in the city?
Because it is expiring in April.
Tim McCarthy, chair of the Planning and Zoning Committee, posing this question.
I think people have to think about what type of community they want to have.
It was clear that the opinions were split. One citizen concerned about how cannabis could impact the community.
And so I'd like to not only see the moratorium, I'd just like to not see any here at all.
Some council members agreed, while others said they would be open to having a special permit for these kinds of businesses.
I will more than likely be advocating for the allowance.
No plan was put forward. Council instead deciding to kick the moratorium can down the road, waiving 3 readings and passing an emergency measure to extend the moratorium to October 21st of this year.
Study all the options, understand all the consequences.
Leaving the Planning and Zoning Committee to put forth options for a long-term plan. McCarthy said it will likely be either a total prohibition on cannabis-related businesses or allowing sale of marijuana through dispensaries. Extending the moratorium gives citizens
Ohio
a chance
Cannabis
to voice
Report
their
on
concerns
YouTube.
to council.
Sure
We're all around
me.
town and we run into people all the time,
About,
and it's their time to
SB
speak up and
56
let
goes
us know
into
what
law
they think.
Call,
March
email,
20th.
or
So we
attend
got 3
meetings to
days
say
before
whether
SB
they want
56
pot in
goes into law.
Perrysburg or not. Before the next meeting, a committee will draft potential ordinances. Council members said they're open to hearing other points of view. Some even said they believe some members may change their minds on allowing dispensaries in the city. KB.
You don't have to travel far.
My bad. I'm talking shit to my TikTok right now. But again, you like, and then they was able to talk all that shit. Trump was like, oh, you know, the Haitians in Springfield. So then it got a bunch of clout, and it was just a bunch of racism. And I'm like, I've been working in Springfield for the last 6 years. And Springfield is not the prettiest place. Now, Yellow Springs is dope, and that's what Dave Chappelle is. But Springfield, I was in Springfield, I said, oh no. Like, I felt like I was in a third world country for sure. Like, and that's where my nonprofit's at. And I'm like, yo, this can't be real life. It can't be real life. And then you can't get anything done. Because God forbid, this little black dude with his specs thinks he's about to do anything over here politically. Then you got to have money. You got to have resources. Like, it's impossible to do anything from grassroots. Like, we own like my nonprofit owns like 3 acres. We've been working, like, the city was charging us because we weren't cutting the grass, but we were using it as a like, we live in a food desert. We live in a heat island, or we work in a heat island. We don't have any parks, no trees. So we own this large slab of fucking just concrete. It was an old warehouse factory. Well, it took forever for the Ohio EPA to come out to actually test the soil to make sure that there was nothing in the soil, so we can't just dig it up. So we were letting it overgrow. Well, the city was charging us because it wasn't being kept up. And then we're telling the city, like, no, this is an ecological thing. Like, we're preserving the land. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to fix it. But until we get the EPA to come out here and, like, you know, they're like, oh, it's a hazard. And it was like, no, it's not. Like, we were trimming it back. We were doing community cleanups, like bi-monthly. You know what I mean? Like, it. But then we have a community garden over here. But then it's like, well, you're not giving us any resources. You're not helping us finance it. You know what I mean? This part of the community is one of the roughest parts of the community. We need stop signs. We need new roads. You know what I mean? Like, and so it was just like, I was like, man, this shit is fucking diabolical. And then the Trump shit started happening. I was like, what am I supposed to do with this? What are you supposed to do? So that was kind of like, but again, it was political. It was very political. And, you know, you realize it. But again, like, people, you got to understand, like, more of us need to be engaged. Because, again, everybody worried about, oh, like, my job, or I'm getting fired. Who controls that? Who controls and regulates and gives tax abatements to Google for data centers, to Meta for data centers, right? These companies are in cahoots with state politicians, county politicians, economic development engines in these communities. And then what happens is, what are they selling these data centers on? Oh, we're going to have a lot of construction workers. So then the construction workers are going to be at your hotels. They're going to rent homes. They're going to eat at your diners or eat at your stores. And so that's going to boost the economy. Well, guess what? The motherfuckers only going to be there for 6 months, right? They're going to build that motherfucker quick as shit and they out of there. And then there's only 10 people working at the data center. And that data center is using what? 1 million gallons of water a day? If not more, then dumping it right back and using and tapping it into the electric grid. But niggas don't want to show up to the state house. Nobody wants to hold those people accountable. Those are the people that need to be held accountable. Like, we are supposed to overthrow the government if the government doesn't work for the people. That's the beauty of our government. But motherfuckers voted this motherfucker. Like, what they did on January 6th, why haven't they done that? Like, if y'all really mad, and that's why I don't really rock with white people like that, because it's like, if y'all was really mad, fuck the No Kings rally. What the fuck is that? They be doing No Kings rallies on Saturdays. Politicians work Monday through Friday. Trump is in Mar-a-Lago on Saturday, bruh. He don't give a fuck what you got going on. You got to do that shit on a Monday, a Tuesday, a Wednesday. That's at the city hall, that's at the state capitol, or that's at Congress or the White House. Y'all doing no Kings rallies for what? Donald Trump don't give a fuck about nothing y'all got going on. But it's insanity, man. My bad, yeah. I'm sorry I was muted on here. We got Chris Sophia. Trump's owned by Netanyahu, Netanyahu, six-fingered man. Israel owns Trump in the U.S. He's a big effing joke. Now the Supreme Court is dominant conservative Republicans, hence why DeWine and Houston are in it. For sure. You know? And I mean, they've been, this all didn't just happen, right? It's been a strategy, right? Like, it's all strategic. You know what I mean? But people have been asleep for a while. AIPAC been putting money in pockets for a while. You look at Wexner being in Ohio. I've been in Ohio for almost 2 decades now, and nobody was really talking about Wexner like that. And I was always suspect of Ohio. I was like, oh, there's just something about Ohio that's just a little bit off. I can't really point my finger on it, right? There was all these articles for years coming out about how Ohio was one of the biggest sex trafficking hubs, human trafficking hubs. Well, and then it was like, well, because you got the 2 major highways. And I was like, nah, it's a little bit more, to that, bro. Oh, Ohio or Columbus is Test City, USA, Opportunity City. We got all of these major corporations here. We got Nationwide Insurance. We got L Brands, Abercrombie, Express, Bath and Body Works. You got Google, Meta. I'm like, bro, this shit is not making sense, especially for so many people to be struggling. That was the big thing. Like, there's so many people here. Like, you got people that's doing really, really well. But then you have people that are doing terrible. And you're like, people don't even have an internet service. Like, again, you go back to Springfield, or you go to Athens, or you go to Zanesville, Ohio. You go to some of these small towns. What? Third world country for sure. Shithole country. Like, coming from the DMV to Ohio was like one of the biggest culture shocks that I've ever, I think anybody could ever experience. Because I grew up in a black suburb, one of the wealthiest counties in the United States of America, one of the smartest counties, pound for pound. Then you're in the nation's capital. So you see white people with money, you see black people with money, you see Hispanic people with money, you see people that are entrepreneurs, you see lawyers, doctors, judges, athletes, entertainers, you see a little bit of everything. I came to Athens, I was like, oh no. My parents said, don't you ever stop in West Virginia at nighttime. I said, we stopped in West Virginia one time. Now, it was a gang of us. It was like 4 or 5 of us, a bunch of big football players. And in West Virginia, that's still risky. And you see some shit, you be like, get me the fuck out of here. Then you in Athens, you see some crazy shit. Like, so it's all like, and they keep people in Ohio oppressed. Like, they keep people misinformed. They keep people uneducated, right? They keep people very much so like in the dark of what's really going on. And if you're illiterate and uneducated, then a lot of these white people be on food stamps and shit, right? Government assistance. So they gonna stay ignorant. You know what I mean? Because you get smarter, you realizing I don't want these damn food stamps. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, isn't real. I call them isn't real. You know what I mean? AIPAC is the devil. Yep, Wexner is a total PDF. I've showed up to the State House and went again. Yeah, I mean, that's the State House really got to be the place to be too. Shout out to the Rooster, my guy DJ Burns, man. Shout out to the chat too. Make sure y'all tap in the chat. Let me know what y'all want me to talk about. If y'all want me to talk about something specific, I do. Again, I'm in Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, so I focus on that. Obviously, business-wise, business strategy, financing. A lot of people struggle with starting a business, finding financing. It's really simple too for a lot of people. Go to the credit union. When you start your business and you get all of your paperwork, you get your business strategy, you get your operating agreements, you have your LLC, your EIN. Open a business bank account, credit union, ASAPington. See if they'll give you a business credit card. See if they'll give you a business loan, depending on what type of business you're running. A lot of people, businesses right now are online. And so a lot of the apps, if you're going to market, advertise, if you're going to buy products, right? Like let's say you use AI, but you're using the free version, you can pay for the pay version, and then that could be part of your business expenses, right? And so it just shows, the bank that you are actually using things to build your business. If you need a brick and mortar or you need an office, oftentimes the bank will give you capital for that as well. And a lot of these banks, especially the credit unions, they get money for SBA, so small business loans, and they often don't market and advertise. And that's what a lot of people don't even tell you on a lot of these. Like, I be watching some of these social media gurus and financial and business gurus, and a lot of people send you in a circle, right, to get you engaged on their platform, to keep you engaged, or to have you buy their course. I've never been that type of person. Like, when I find out information, I'm sharing that shit. So again, a lot of people need money for businesses, right? You need business startup capital. If you don't have friends and family that can really, get you startup capital, obviously, if you have a job, you leverage some of that money from your job into that business bank account. You go to, there are also grants. I mean, there's also a lot of programs throughout a lot of these major cities that, also are connected to the SBA, which will help you build out your business. So you just got to do the work. A lot of people just don't want to do the due diligence to actually get the bread. And you have to, a lot of people just want to start the business and don't really have no structure to the business. Or, oh, I'm a hairstylist, I'm a barber, right? I'm gonna just do it out of my car or do it out of my house. And so if you want to build a business, you have to actually build structure. You have to actually build your paper trail. And that's all they teach you at a lot of this stuff, right? They just teach you the structure of the business. And people got to start picking better businesses. You know what I mean? Like, don't just be a barber. All right. Open up a barbershop, right? Open up a chain of barbershops, because now, a lot of people, if you're a barber, let's say you're a barber or hairstylist, or you do makeup or you do nails, you don't make money if you don't work, right? So let's say you get sick. Let's say your baby gets sick. Let's say you want to go on vacation. Like, you don't get paid. But if you open a salon, or you look at those salons now where they have individual spaces where people can pay a rent for the individual space, now you open up a salon, you got 10 bays, right? Let's say you got 6 of those bays filled, for the year, right? At $1,500, 12, two grand. Instead of you just having to be an individual, now you got to do all your marketing and advertising. People be canceling on you. Somebody don't like what you did, but now you own a salon, and now you're getting paid regardless whether you got hair to do or not, whether you're doing nails or not. And then guess what? Once you get that business model and you got it right, now you go open up another one on the other side of town, right? Now you got 12 people working in your shop, paying you monthly, paying off the mortgage or the lease, pay that off, everything else you got on top, right? So a lot of people got to get more business savvy, man, especially now with artificial intelligence, AI. Like, everything is going to go towards everybody being their own individual, like, business. Like, a lot of people, I'm going to just go find a job. Like, no, it's not about to be none of that. I mean, like, it's not about to be none of that. You know what I mean? You got to be creative. You got to be an entrepreneur. You got to be somebody that's active in the community. You're going to have a skill, whether, it's HVAC, plumbing, electrical, building something. But if you're going to be like tech on like social media, the internet, You got to be comfortable in front of the camera, right? Because artificial intelligence, even with like the videos and stuff, like there's still beauty and authenticity and people just being themselves, right? And so what comes into play with AI and video is the ability to go on these platforms, and then like when I end the stream, AI will cut up the video and then make, viral clips for me. Like that's what, AI does, right? Where again, who does that hurt? That hurts the editors, right? That hurts the people that do, you look at some of the coding now, right? That, AI is doing code. So now a lot of people are going to lose jobs and stuff like that. So again, you have to continue to evolve and understand that AI is a tool, it's a resource, just like the cell phone, just like TikTok. These are all tools. How you use and leverage the tool is what's important. Money is a tool, right? You can use the money to go buy a Gucci belt, or you can use the money to buy the professional Claude, or you can use the money to go buy a new MacBook or a new computer, or you can use that money to get a certificate or, upgrade your education, right? Or you can go on vacation, right? So people choose what we want to use things for. And then you can't be mad when, other people leverage something, or other people have more money than you, and then they're able to leverage it. But that's where, my brain, in terms of like seeing how things have been panning out with AI, looking at the current landscape, just looking at how human nature, like seeing people complain online about not having a job in the free world, in a free country where you can do any and everything, is crazy to me. Like niggas is trying to sign up for jobs that's not paying enough money, that you don't like the people that you work with. You don't even like the job. You just want a little bit of money to help you do what you want to do until you can do what you really want to do. And then a lot of people want to do something, but they not really putting in the work. Like these niggas want to be entertainers, but you're not really entertaining. You want to be a singer, but you're not taking singing lessons, and you refuse to go get an agent. You want to be independent, but you can't work in a team. You can't keep a band together. You the prize, but you ain't booking no events. It's crazy to me. There's a lot of delusion going on, right? And being in sports and shit, like you see it all the time. Like niggas be like, oh yeah, I was that nigga, I could have been that man. It's like, show me. Where are the accolades? Where are the highlights? Like you gotta show me something. Like a lot of people just be saying you're not doing. You're not really that good. You know what I mean? Like everybody a rapper. Okay. What separates you from the other million niggas that's rapping? What's separating all these DJs that be on TikTok DJing? What separates you? What makes you special? And then not only that, people got different hustles. Like, yeah, you may have a lot of followers on social media, but this person is actually out in the community booking shows. He got a residency. You know what I mean? He getting paid cash. Boom. Check. Automatic deposit. You got people over here doing corporate events, corporate gigs during the day, during the week. You know what I mean? 10 bands for a couple hours to do a corporate gig, right? And so a lot of people be popping, but don't be having the business backing, right? The media is really just it's the voice box, right? Like it's a marketing tool, it's an advertising tool, right? So like somebody like me, I share a lot of content information, but it's more so, all right, my stuff is about lifestyle and how I live, right? Like I don't really come on social media to make money. You know what I mean? I understand there's a lot of people, eyes and stuff like that, but I like to engage. I like to be able to create content like Ohio Cannabis Report. I have athletes in cannabis. So what I've learned is to create different communities. I created something called Columbus Creates, where I just started, bringing together creatives, right? Hosting events, and then content. A lot of people, especially artists and creatives, I feel like a lot of people fear the camera, right? A lot of people fear like engaging with people. And when you really understand like success, right? Most success is like repetitive. You know what I mean? Like it's like when you look at a lot of gurus, what do they oh, I got my money in real estate. Okay. How did you get your money in real estate? There's a few different ways you can get money in real estate, right? You got wholesaling, you got people that flip, you got people that redevelop, right? You got commercial development, um, you got land acquisition, right? You got people, farming, oil, drilling for oil on land. Like there's a lot of different, oh, we're gonna put a warehouse on the land, or we're gonna put a data center on the land. So there's a lot of different ways that people make money from real estate, but that's real estate is the overarching thing that people say, oh, if you want to get rich, you gotta get into real estate. But they don't tell you which part of real estate, right? And they don't tell you which is gonna be the most um efficient way, right? We don't really talk about corporate or not corporate. I lost the word, but like I had this one of my teammates, his girl, I don't know if they still together, but their family, they had a development company, and the company they got all of the contracts in their region for Dollar Generals. So anytime a Dollar General was going to be scheduled to be built, they already had the contract. So they knew how to build it out. So they got all the contracts for that. The family was loaded. There's Dollar Generals everywhere. You know what I mean? And so then not only do they do that, you get other contracts, right? You do other work. You become, you're the main contract lead, and then you get subcontracts, right? And so then you get consulting deals. So unfortunately, what we don't understand, especially like a lot of poor people, is like most people is not getting rich. Generational wealth isn't created in one generation, right? We see it with athletes and entertainers, and we're like, oh, they're making a lot of money. Like they done set up generational wealth for their family. Like, yeah, that's a very rare thing. You know what I mean? Like it's very rare to be LeBron James. It's very rare to be Kevin Hart. It's very rare to be Michael B. Jordan. It's very rare to be, who else is somebody that's making a lot of money in like sports and entertainment? You know what I mean? Like everybody not making that. KD, you know what I mean? Like everybody is not making that money. Everybody is not that superstar. Everybody don't have that cachet and demand that money. You know what I mean? So when we talk about these people, we're talking about the elite 1%, just like we're talking about Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg. These are a very elite class. Most people are average and below. You have this part, right? You have this, and this is people who, they'd be like, oh, like I started from the bottom. No, you didn't. You got a $240,000 starter loan from your mom. That then it was backed by the bank, and the bank gave you another $240,000 loan or credit. Then you did a partnership deal where this company, bought your software, at a corporate price, at an enterprise price that puts you at up $2 million, $3 million. You know what I mean? Like none of these people, like they were flipping capital. Donald Trump, you got 400 million from your dad. You know what I mean? Like most people can't go to their parents for a stack. Most people can't go to their parents for $500. Hey, mom and dad, I need 500. I'm in a fucking bind. Like I went to Catholic school and private school with rich kids, so I know. I saw motherfuckers walking around with credit cards, and so I think about like the people that nobody really thinks about. Like there's rich people that have buku money that are just floaters, and nobody really knows. Like these people just float. You know what I mean? Like they have generational money because granddad was a businessman, granddad was a lawyer, a judge, an entrepreneur, a real estate developer. We own this land for generations, right? So now we got the equity out of the land. Some people I met white people that white people just be working to work. I mean, like they're not great philanthropists. You know what I mean? Like, and so when you're around wealthy people, you know what I mean, you understand how wealthy people move. You know what I mean? And then you have this elite class that a lot of people also don't understand. oh, they're billionaires. Their money that's not cash. Like a lot of people think these dudes just have billions of dollars in cash. No, it's stock options, right? So it's stock in the company that they own, right? It's their real estate, it's their business. So obviously, you look at like something like Google, they own tons of businesses, right? They have tons of other tech entities that they have. They have employees, they have equipment, they have what else? You have trade secrets, right? You have credit. And so a lot of these businessmen, their money is all throughout the business. They just leverage the business credit card, right? They pay themselves typically very meager salaries, right? Like, you're a billionaire, they're paying themselves probably $60,000. Then you got to think, what is the taxes on $60,000 compared to if Jeff Bezos had all his money in his bank account, right? That's why they don't pay taxes, right? Because all the money sits in the business. If they do something for the business, that's a tax write-off, right? If we decide, oh, we're going to build this, billion-dollar data center, Trump is going to give us a tax write-off immediately on the data center, on all the computers, the equipment, the wiring, the construction. So we're going to spend $1 billion. We're going to get that tax, and we got a tax abatement from the state. The state going to give us some grant money, some funds. And so that's how that should work. You know what I mean? And the average people don't understand, like, you going to work for pennies on the dollar, you pay taxes immediately. You get your check, the money is already taken out of your check. All right. Business people pay taxes at the end of the year. And so that's the real problem in America, is people just don't understand like how these systems really work. And so where you might be making 60 grand and you getting taxed, and at most people is probably going to be at 40. So you done lost 20,000. You look at athletes. A lot of people look at athletes like, oh my God, like, how do they spend all that money? Well, let's break it down. Okay. So let's say you're a football player and you sign a rookie contract for $4 million, right? How much of that money is guaranteed? Let's say you get $1 million out of that guaranteed. So now you got 3 million left. But guess what? You got that $1 million guaranteed. You got to pay taxes on that, buddy. Uncle Sam, come here. State taxes, come here. So out of that $1 million, you're probably going to be knocked down to at least 600,000, right? So where everybody's just like, oh, he got 4 million. He signed for $1 million guarantee. So everybody's looking at you like, bro, you got $1 million guaranteed. Nobody looks and says, what's after taxes? What's that $1 million after taxes? Oh, you got 600,000. Okay. Now what do you do with that 600,000? Always wanted to retire your mom. Retire moms. Pay off mom's crib. Okay. Let's say that's 100,000, right? How do you retire your mom? What is your mom's salary a month? Like, what is her living expenses, right? So you gotta think about that. Like, niggas are splurging on mom. You gonna buy mom a new truck, a new car. You bought your dad a new truck, a new car, cash, because you got it. Might not got good credit, because when have you built up your credit, right? Ain't nobody built up your credit. Then you got to buy yourself a crib. You're going to buy a nice crib, or you're going to buy a nice condo. So you might have bought the condo for 200, 300, 400,000, 500. That $1 million is gone. That 600,000 is gone. So now you just got the rest of that 3 million. Most guys in the NFL, the league average is 3 to 4 years. 3 to 4 years is only your rookie contract. Most guys don't get their second contract. The second contract is usually where you get the big money in the NFL. So now you got $3 million left. You get paid per game. You got to pay jock tax. So every city and state that you play in, you have to pay a tax. Obviously, there's a different range, right? California, New York, Ohio, Texas, everybody has a different tax. So now as a player, you get your checks every week, every game, and then that money comes out of that, right? Also, let's think about sponsorships. And, everybody in football, we don't know them niggas, right? So only the quarterback, the best receiver, the best defensive back, and a running back, maybe, those are only people that's going to really get, the sponsorship deals, right? We see Patrick Mahomes. Who else? We see buddy from the Eagles, but 2 quarterbacks, right? So your quarterbacks is always going to get the big money. So if you're just a regular dude, like you're not getting that extra sponsorship bag, which a lot of guys will get that sponsorship money and they won't spend none of their NFL check, right? So again, let's say you got that 3 million left. Well, you got to survive off of that 3 million. What happens if you don't sign another contract off of that 3 million? You got to live the rest of your life off of that 3 million. But guess what? You still got to pay your agent. You still got to pay your trainers. You still got to pay your for food, right? I mean, you go out to eat. You're traveling. You got a girlfriend. You got a wife. You got multiple girlfriends. You got kids. So niggas be like, how do these niggas go broke? Because $3 million in today's economy is not that much money. Especially if you are having a lifestyle, and a lot of people don't understand the lifestyle of an athlete, right? You got to take care of your body. So you got to eat good. So you got to have a chef. You got to have a coach or a trainer. You got to have, you don't have to, but it makes your life a lot easier. You have to pay those people. You know what I mean? And so then let's say you get hurt. You tear ACL, you tear PCL, you know. So again, you can live a simpler life. But again, a lot of dudes, you're young, you come in thinking like, oh, I'm about to be playing in the league for 10 years. No, sir, Reebok. You know what I mean? And so that money is gone. And so again, it's also a setup because it's like most of these kids, most of these young men aren't coming from the suburbs. They're not coming from families who mom and dad are making 6 figures. Mom and dad both have jobs or entrepreneurs, own their own businesses, lawyers, doctors, you know, people that are higher income earners, right? Usually these kids are coming from urban communities, single parent homes. Even if it's a dual family home, it's typically a working class home. And so again, the financial side of things aren't there. The political side of things aren't there. And so you get that money being poor and working class, and you done made more money than everybody in your family at 21 years old. Now all your cousins is hitting you up. You got aunts and uncles coming out of the woodwork. Oh, remember that time I took you to practice? Remember that time I bought you some cleats? Now niggas want to come to the game. Niggas want you to pay for their cell phone bill. Niggas want you to pay for their electricity. Oh, I got a flat tire. I need a new whip. Like in our family, you make it, you become the one. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of people, oftentimes we see these people, you know, on these pedestals and we don't understand like this is the show, right? You see the show. You see when the lights are on, you see the full production. What's behind the scenes, right? A lot of people don't really see what's going on in everybody's individual behind the scenes, right? And so again, we equate $1 million to being a lot of money, but we don't equate for taxes. We don't equate for lifestyle. We don't equate for, all right, yeah, like he got to pay for massages, right? Like you got to go get massages and treatment and therapy and you like all that stuff is on you. You know what I mean? Like, and so like the football is brutal. Now the NBA, those cats is getting paid. Their contracts are a lot different. Also, we know NBA players, right? We see their faces. So even if you the third man on the squad, like people gonna notice you, it's gonna be easier for you to get sponsorship deals and shit like that. Because you gotta think like with football, like you got this on. So most people don't know who you are outside of your helmet. You know what I mean? And your number. Basketball though, you got the jersey on, you're like niggas see you. And you tall as fuck. Like niggas know you a football player if you big, right? Like, oh, he gotta play football, but nobody know who you are. You know, I'm gonna start doing my streams like this. But when you got the helmet on, you know what I mean? Don't nobody know who this is. You know what I mean? Like you see number 13. But that comes, you know, with you know, sports is marketing and advertising and it's a lot tougher to monetize somebody that's faceless like that. But yeah, so when it comes to business, when it comes to sports, and I kind of threw everything through a lens of sports, because again, like everything has some type of intersection too, right? Like we look at sports betting, right? Like that's political. You look at obviously college sports and NIL. Well, Trump just had a meeting with all of these leaders, all of these political leaders, or not political leaders, but college conference presidents. He had the USA Olympic person there. He had Adam Silver there, commissioner of the NBA. And so he had other commissioners talking about NIL and the transfer portal and guys getting paid and then transferring. So when you understand, like everything is literally political, like healthcare is political. And then who's paying these people off? Somebody on here was like APAC, APAC is the devil. Like you look at Open Secrets and you can see all the people that are being paid by APAC and pro-Israel lobbies. And it's like, bro, these motherfuckers got free healthcare, dog. We living in a country where there's another country where we're paying billions of dollars to for them to have free healthcare. And they get money for businesses. And they get money to go to schools. And they be calling us shit that we don't even know what that is. And how is talking about somebody money anti-Semitic when I'm broke, nigga? My people broke, nigga. Y'all got reparations already. My people ain't even get reparations yet. And then y'all want to manage us, market us. Y'all want to be the CEOs, executives, lawyers, giving us slave deals and shit. Kanye told you niggas too. All y'all niggas owe Kanye an apology too. Hey, did you hear that there's a 10-day grace period as long as they turn in 250 signatures? Valid or not, I heard they get 10 days to get remaining signatures. I did not know that. Well, I was trying to figure it out because I figured like, it couldn't be just like a hard, March 20th, like, you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, I did talk to one of my last conversations was with Joey Elwood, who's one of the founders of App Girls Cannabis, and he also sits on the committee for No on SB 56, and he basically was like, well, obviously we need 240 signatures, but it's going to be more like 400,000 signatures, just because obviously all those signatures aren't going to be valid. And so I tried to explain to people too. You got to make sure you're registered to vote because they kick people off of the voting rolls. And then what Frank LaRose just sent over like 8 million voter registration to Trump's team or whatever. But you got to make sure you're still, registered to vote, because if you sign the form and you're not registered to vote, your signature doesn't count. So yeah, I mean, but yeah, so that'll be good. I mean, my thing is, man, it's like, even if we get it, bro, like, these politicians are going to do the same shit. Because like, we know we need the constitutional amendment, so they can't change it, because right now they're just going to keep changing it. And really SB 56, no against SB 56 is really for the hemp companies, right? So they don't really care about, like, these are smaller businesses. You know what I mean? I'm for complete cannabis freedom, bro. Free the plant. Deschedule the plant. Decolonize the plant. Like, we got to decolonize the planet right now for sure. But like, yeah. So yeah, it's, and that's why I don't be liking doing this stuff, because it's like, you got the whole political side. You got the whole like politically correct. And it's like, yeah, it's just some bullshit, bro. Some bullshit. But the thing about me too is like, I try not to be selfish, right? I'm gonna be Gucci. I got a house, so I could smoke in my house. I could smoke in my garage. I could smoke in my backyard. I had some friends over. We could smoke in my backyard. I live in Columbus, so I don't think Columbus is gonna be as strict, because Columbus has decriminalized, and obviously we have the most dispensaries in the state so far with like 12 or with 20. So I think like Columbus would be cool, but the problem is traveling with cannabis. And when you get to these small towns, or if you're on the highway, state highway patrol, that's where it gets iffy, right? If you want to have a big festival or, a farmer's market, a lot of those things where, us coming together as a community is now fractured, in a way. So that's the thing that, and then obviously you have a lot of, smaller business owners who were, grow shops or heady shops that are going to be hurt by it, and obviously people had jobs, so people are going to lose jobs. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, it's coming down to the wire. Obviously, March 20th is the date that SB 56 goes into effect. There also is a bill, like an there's a freedom of speech bill too. Let me see. That's been talked about. Let me see if I can see some articles that's requiring professionals to post their box. Oh, this was a good thing too. Afroman, that shit going crazy. Let me see. Afroman suing Adams County Sheriff's Office because he lives in Ohio and they raided his house, broke his gate, broke his door, took some money. Let me see. I'm gonna try to get Afroman on the Ohio Cannabis Report too. Make sure y'all tap the screen if y'all in here too. Where y'all tapping in from? What part of the world? All right. Let me share my screen real quick. This Afroman shit crazy though. Because I got high. Do 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 do. I was gonna clean my room and then I got high. Hey, I was gonna put up, but then I got high. And then Buddy been making songs and videos with the surveillance videos from his house of the police officer. So they mad. How they gonna raid his house and then be mad because he had him on surveillance and now he making music videos around it and now they mad. These niggas is crazy, boy. Y'all been seeing the Afroman shit. All right, so rapper Afroman takes the stand on day 2 of Adams County trial. Deputies claim Afroman used footage from a 2020 raid on his home in a viral music video without their permission, and they suffered humiliation and death threats. Shit is so Ohio, dog. Adams County, Ohio. Afroman, the rapper who is being sued by Adams County Sheriff's deputies, took the stand Tuesday afternoon. Joseph Foreman, known professionally as Afroman, is on trial this week after a lawsuit claimed he used Adams County Sheriff's deputies' likenesses without permission after they executed a search warrant at his home in August 2022. Foreman's defense says the case is about freedom of speech. All of this is their fault, Foreman said on Tuesday. If they hadn't wrongfully raided my house, there would be no lawsuit. I would not know their names. They wouldn't be on my home surveillance system, and there would be no songs. My money would still be intact. Foreman said that it was his right to make videos and posts using his own cameras after he alleged they broke down his door, caused damage, and shorted him his money over wrong allegations. Quote, they're suing me for their mistake, he said. Yeah, it's trying 31 minutes. You got time today.
You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. As this, you shall answer unto God.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. For the record, would you give us your name, please?
My name is Joseph Edgar Foreman.
You are known under the stage name as Afroman, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you create music videos and do performances, is
Yes,
that
sir.
right? How many states of the United States have you performed in, do you think?
All of them.
All 50.
Yes, sir.
And how many countries have you performed in?
I don't remember, but not all of them, but I've been to a few.
How many live performances did you do last year, roughly?
I don't know. Possibly 250. I don't know, but I don't know. You know, it's a lot of days, but I don't know exactly.
And you have a residence here in Adams County, correct?
Yes, sir.
You've been performing for 20 or 30 years, is that right?
All my life.
All right. And is it fair to say that one of the first big hits you had was But Then I Got High?
Because I got high.
Because I Got High? Yeah. And do you think it's accurate to say that that song has had over 300 million views on YouTube?
Sounds right.
You have a large presence on social media, obviously, correct?
Depends on your definition of large. There's bigger people than me, but I'm all right.
For sure.
And on Instagram, is it fair to say that you have 247,000 followers?
Yeah, I just got some of them the other day.
You got new ones coming all the time.
Yes, not all the time, just here lately.
Because the trial's coming up?
Yeah, all the publicity from the officers lawsuing me is running up my numbers.
Yeah. And on YouTube, you have almost 1 million followers, 983,000. Is that right?
I haven't looked. It was 977 last time I looked.
And on TikTok, you have about 392,000 followers.
I haven't looked at it, but that sounds kind of right.
You know when you post something that a lot of people are going to see it, don't you?
Yes.
When this search happened back in August of 2022, Mr. Foreman, you weren't at home?
No.
You were driving home from Chicago?
Yes.
And you got an alert from a family member that the sheriffs were there searching your home. Is that right?
Yes.
And you were able to turn on your phone and watch through your home security system what the deputies were doing for a period of time, weren't you?
Yes.
And is it fair to say you were angry and upset about this search?
I wasn't happy.
And is that why you posted the things we've seen this week, because you weren't happy?
No, I posted it because the sheriff's never supposed to raid my house in the first place. The whole raid was a mistake. All of this is their fault. If they hadn't wrongly raided my house, there would be no lawsuit. I would not know their names. They wouldn't be on my body. They wouldn't be on my home surveillance system. And there would be no songs, nothing. My money would still be intact, nothing. So all of this is their fault.
And because they executed a search warrant on your home, that gave you the right to post the things that we've seen this week on the internet?
Because
Is that right? Is that right, Mr. Foreman?
Yes, for
Yes.
tearing down my door, not paying for it, not being apologetic, me being a sport, doing something peaceful to raise the money to pay for their damages, me having the right of the freedom of speech as an American to talk to my family, friends, and fans about what the sheriffs did to my home. Yes, I had the right to my freedom of speech. After they left, I had the right to kick the can and to do what I had to do to repair the damage they brought to my house. Yes, I did.
That includes the right to post the videos that you've just been posting up until Friday and beyond, right?
Yes, I have freedom of speech. I'm a rapper. I entertain. I write fiction, comedy. Yes, I mean, I entertain for a living like you practice law for a living. So I have to go to work.
Work, baby.
The deputies left a warrant return at your house, didn't they?
I think they left something with my ex-wife. I'm not sure.
Well, you saw, as soon as the search was over, as soon as you got home, you saw a document that showed exactly how much cash had been taken from the house, correct?
I know I got paid $5,000 for the show that suit was in. I forgot that money was in that suit. But I heard, I don't know what piece of paper I heard. I knew they took some money. I just knew they took some money. I knew it was 4,000-ish. I knew they took some money and they seized some money and some weed and some, I don't know what else. Just minor stuff.
You knew how much money was in that pocket when you came home and saw the warrant return, didn't you?
It was $5,000 from back when I did that show. I remember it was $5,000, but anyway.
So is it your testimony that they actually took $5,000 instead of $4,390?
No, I just know, I know when I did that show, it was with Snoop Dogg and Wiz Khalifa at Red Rocks in Denver. The balance of that show, for me, they sent in a deposit, but the balance was $5,000. I put the $5,000 in my coat pocket. I got drunk, I got high, and I forgot to get that money, and I hung that suit back up. And that's where they got that money from.
So it was $5,000 they got?
Yes, it was $5,000 that was in my suit when I got paid in Red Rocks. Now, after all of this stuff, whatever, it's I don't really know the complete number. It's 46, it's 430, the number bounces up and down. But all I know is I got paid $5,000 at the Red Rocks with Snoop Dogg and Wiz Khalifa when I played the Red Rocks in Denver.
And you got $4,000 returned, right?
I don't know the exact amount.
Well, you were there with the news when you got it.
Right. And the lady at the sheriff's station admitted that the sheriff's was short. You can go watch the 19 News.
You knew when you saw the warrant returned, didn't you, that the amount that they were saying was taken was actually more money than was in that suit pocket?
I didn't warrant.
That's why you brought the news to the sheriff's office when you got the money back, because you knew that they had miscounted the money and the number on the evidence bag was actually more money. I didn't know nothing.
The lady at the sheriff department just volunteered the information. I was sitting there, if she had been, I might not even known I got ripped off. She admitted it live on Channel 19 News that the money wasn't right.
You remember in your deposition when I asked you, why did you bring the news when you picked up the money?
Yeah, I didn't want to get beat up or Epstein at the sheriff's station after I seen him running around my house with AR-15s. So that's why I brought the news and my attorney. So to make sure I got out of that place with my money.
You brought the news to protect you physically.
Yeah.
You didn't bring the news because you already knew there was a miscount and you were going to make.
I didn't know nothing about the miscount. I didn't know. I figured they stole my money. They turned my cameras off. So if you turn my cameras off, you must got something bad in mind. So yeah, I'm accusing them of it. They turn my cameras off. I can't see what they're doing.
So your testimony under oath here today to these 10 jurors is that you brought the news when you picked up your money to protect you physically from being beat up or shot by the sheriffs, right?
Yes.
All right.
And they volunteered the information that this money wasn't right. That's just an extra something we found out. But I came with my attorney and the news to make sure the people running around my house with guns didn't take me into jail and do something.
Yeah, I mean Smart man.
You had a safe in your home, correct?
2 of them.
2 safes. Did the sheriffs look into those safes to your knowledge?
Yes, they
The
did.
deputies?
Yes.
And how did they get the combination?
I gave it to my ex-wife so the sheriffs wouldn't pull my safe out the floor, take it to the station and put something in it and try to say that whatever they put in my safe was mine. So I went ahead and gave my ex-wife, who I didn't want to give my combination to, it was just safer. I went ahead and gave her my combination so they could open up the safe and realize that they just vandalized somebody that don't even have nothing in the safe.
And do you know what was in those safes?
It was absolutely nothing in the safes.
Don't you keep jewelry in those safes?
No.
Can you tell me that in your deposition that you keep jewelry in those safes?
I do.
Was anything missing from the safes when you got home after the search?
I didn't put nothing in the safes.
Was anything missing from the safes when you got home?
Nothing was in them, so nothing was missing from the safe.
You talked to Randy Walters on the phone before you got home that evening during the search, or right afterwards, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
He told you that they were taking some money and some vape pens and a small amount of marijuana. He told you that.
Yes, sir.
And he about to sue.
You knew, didn't you, Mr. Foreman, that there had been an investigation by the Claremont County Sheriff's Office into the discrepancy about the cash that was missing from your home, correct? You knew there was an investigation.
Yeah, I knew the sheriffs was investigating themselves.
Oh, that's how you saw it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And did you ever ask for a report so you could see how bad this investigation of themselves really was?
Yes, I was trying to get involved any way I can. The investigation was going on without any of my participation.
Did you ask for a copy of the report?
I asked for everything. I was trying to be involved. I didn't.
So you've seen the report?
No, I have not.
Okay.
I just saw it a few minutes ago.
Well, you had an attorney when you got the cash returned, correct?
At the station?
Yes.
I had attorney. Yeah, my attorney was present.
Did your attorney ask for a copy of this report?
It wasn't in it. When I got my cash back from the station, it wasn't an investigation until we realized money was missing.
Well, did you contact your attorney and say, hey, get me a copy of that report?
Your Honor, I'm going to object. Well, Mr. Klingler wants to talk about his client's attorney-client privilege and maybe waive it. Mr. Foreman does have attorney-client privilege with his attorney at that time. And we are going to assert that privilege because it's a privilege he has a right.
And so far, he hasn't asked for anything privileged. So I appreciate the sensitivity. Overrule the objection. We'll make that. Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you, Judge. Your testimony is you never saw a copy of Detective Robinson's report until today.
Yes, sir.
And that's because you didn't want to see a copy of the investigation.
I did want to see it. You don't know what I want. I did want to see it.
You did.
I wanted everything that had something to do with my money coming.
And that was 3.5 years ago, correct? And you haven't seen a copy of that report that you wanted to see until this afternoon. Is that right?
That's right. I never had my money taken by cops. I didn't know how this goes. I don't know about reports. All I know is live on Fox 19 News, the lady admits that her department is short $400 of my money. That's all I know. I don't know how to investigate police officers taking money.
That's all you know, and that's all you know today, isn't it? That's the whole basis of your claim that your money was stolen, is that the amount of money that was in the bags is different from the amount of money that was written on the bag.
Yeah, my whole thing is they never should have rated me in the first place.
That's your whole thing.
That's my whole thing.
That's the point,
That's my whole
isn't
thing.
it?
If they never would have showed up, there would be no songs about them. I wouldn't know who they are. Their faces would not be on my video cameras. None of this, we wouldn't be in this room right now if they hadn't raided my house and didn't press no charges, didn't even know what they was doing. This whole thing is their fault, and they're suing me for their mistake.
And so you don't really care if they stole your money or not. You're just mad
I
about
do
what
care
they
about
did.
if they stole them. Police officers shouldn't be stealing the civilians' money. So I do care. All of it is an outrage. This whole thing is an outrage.
You have no evidence that they took your money except for the amount on the bag isn't the same as the amount.
How about the lady admitting that she took?
Did you answer my?
She admitted that she took my money on live Fox 19 News. Go argue with the film clip. Go argue with her admitting that she took my money.
Nobody admitted that they took your money.
Well, whatever. Go look at her admitting that the bag is short because it stayed open all weekend long or 2 weeks after Brian and Officer Cooley just left it and just mishandled it and didn't do right.
Just so we're honest with the jury here, Mr. Foreman, nobody admitted that they took your money, did they?
They admitted it was short.
Yes. Nobody admitted that they took your money, correct?
It was short. She admitted. She said that it was short. And usually it's 10, $5, $2 missing. How does $400 even come up missing? Odd.
odd.
You posted videos about Brian Newland doing hard drugs and snitching on his friend, and you posted those based on rumors, didn't you? We can look at your deposition, but before you argue with me, but isn't that a fact that you made those allegations based on rumors you said you heard?
It's a fact. William Newland is a convicted pedophile, and Brian Newland is his brother. After I zeroed in on Brian, I asked about him. Come to find out, he's a large statutory rapist that has sex with all kind of underage girls. He buys them beers and gets them drunk. And all that's probably the reason he had to leave the Adams County Sheriff Department, because he beats up his wife and he messed with underage girls, and he had to get out of town and go get a job in Northwood.
All right. You don't want to answer my question.
I do. Please ask another one.
Well, let me ask this one again so I can get an answer. Do you remember in your deposition when I asked you, you have no reason to think these rumors about Brian Newland are true, do you? And you said, well, it's more entertaining if it's true, and I can make some money. Remember that?
No, that's a however long that deposition was. You can read the deposition and it tells you what I said.
Do we have a copy, another copy of that? Because I'll show it to you, and I can show you my copy. Refresh your recollection. It's thank you, Judge. If I can get it working here.
Your Honor, I would object to using the screen to refresh his recollection. That's publishing it to the jury. If he wants to refresh his recollection, he can show him it and then ask him a question, much how we would do in criminal law with a police report. If an officer didn't remember, we wouldn't show him. He would refresh his memory by reading it, and then we'd re-ask the question.
Do it that way. Just make sure you think he reads it right. I'm just trying to get through the verbiage. Just make sure you think he reads it right. Otherwise, I have to wrestle with you about whether he read it right.
Sure.
So just read it. And then if we want to move it as an exhibit, you can do that.
Remember your deposition being taken, Mr. Foreman, in your attorney's office on September 3rd, 2024.
I remember the deposition.
And that deposition was taken in DJ Osborne's office?
Yes, sir.
That's the same office that you used to film that video that we saw last night with the actor playing Lieutenant Lisa Phillips. And that actor was sitting in the same chair that Lisa Phillips sat in during her deposition, wasn't she?
Yeah, the actor played Lisa because I wouldn't have known her if she hadn't came to my house and cut off my camera.
Yeah, right. That's the office we're talking about, and that's the office where I took your deposition, right?
Yes, sir.
And in that deposition, I'm referring to page 84 of the deposition. I had asked you about.
Object, he's testifying.
No, he's using his deposition to refresh his memory. He's doing it right. So sit down, please. Go ahead.
Did I ask you this question, and did you give me these answers, Mr. Foreman? Question: would it be fair to say these are rumors? Answer: Stephanie said it, and some other people that don't remember. I'd be in a hurry in Walmart or something. They shake my hand. Yeah, Brian used to do this, used to do that. Then something, I didn't know him, but this is what I've heard. Question: you don't have any particular reason to think that it's true or not true, right? Answer: well, it's more entertaining if it is true, and I could probably make some money and capitalize on it if it's true.
What are the line numbers?
Starting with line 7 and ending with line 21.
Right.
Did I ask you those questions and you give me those answers?
I don't remember. That was a long time ago.
But that's my question.
I've always put Brian Newland next to his brother. So that's my basis, and I've always
we noticed that.
Yeah,
and your attorney's going to be able to ask you whatever questions he wants. Right now, I'd like you to focus on my questions, Mr. Foreman. You have no evidence that Brian Newland ever molested little boys, do you?
If you look at the picture, he's holding the little boy butt. It's too much for me. So if you just use your eyeballs, then his brother's a convicted pedophile.
That's your evidence for posting that pedophile stuff about little boys.
I'm trying to figure out what kind of guy is kicking on my door. What kind of guy is walking around my house reading my bank statements? It's a dude that's possibly a pedophile, got a convicted pedophile brother, deputized by the sheriff, walking around possibly stealing my money. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on as I zoom in with my cameras. That's not the type of guy I don't think should be on the police force.
I'm going to refer you again to your deposition. If you don't trust my reading of it, I'm happy to give it to you, Mr. Foreman. But on page 98 of your deposition, on the same day, beginning at 9/11, did I ask you this question and did you give me this answer?
Sam,
And again, the only evidence,
yes.
you don't have any evidence that Brian Newland is a pedophile or plays with little boys. Answer, no, sir. Did I ask you that question? Did you give me that answer?
I don't remember.
Beginning with line 11, ending with line 14 on page 98. You have no evidence that Lisa Phillips stole your money, do you?
I know if she hadn't raided my house, we wouldn't be having this conversation, nor a lawsuit or nothing. They never should have been at my house.
Since you're not going to answer my question, I'm going to go back to your deposition again, Mr. Foreman, page 102.
Your Honor, if I may, can I just enter a continuing objection so I don't have to object every time he does the deposition?
It's too important. Please be specific. Thank you.
So I would enter a notation of objection at this point. He is now testifying for the witness. He is no longer refreshing his recollection.
I'll be sensitive to that, so you can rephrase, I'll sustain that. You made the conclusion, but it's your memory, so you got to go back and fix that.
All right, Judge, I will. Thank you. Do you remember telling me in your deposition, Mr. Foreman, that you don't have any evidence that Lisa Phillips stole your money?
Yeah, I she cut off the cameras, but I didn't know who took them. I didn't know who took them. So for all the officers was a suspect in the at first, because I didn't know where. After the deposition, I realized that Brian Newland was in charge of the money, and I knew where to focus everything. But at first, all the cops was a suspect, especially after they cut off my cameras, and I couldn't see what they were doing.
All right. Well, so you don't remember? Is that what you're telling me?
I remember telling you that Lisa, probably didn't take my money,
Okay.
but I just didn't know. I just knew it was missing. And they cut off my cameras, so all of them were suspects until I figured it out.
So until you figured it out?
Until everybody figured it out, until it was solved of where the missing money was.
All right. So just to clear this up and move on, you admit that you don't have any evidence that Lisa Phillips stole your money?
No. But I know if she wasn't there in the first place, we wouldn't be having this conversation or be here.
And is it true that one of your big motivation really in making all of these posts is to make money?
To pay for the damage that they brought to my house under the circumstance that they shouldn't have even been there in the first place.
Okay. So the answer to my question is yes, your motivation was to make money.
To pay for the damages that they brought to my house under the circumstances that they shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Have you made enough yet to make up for it?
Nope.
Not really.
How much have you made on it?
I don't know exactly, but it wasn't hardly $24,000.
$24,000.
It wasn't that. It wasn't that.
You're still making money on today, right? With the new posts and advertisements and things.
It's publicity.
You're still selling merchandise, aren't you?
No, publicity. Just me. Just everybody. Thanks to them bringing publicity to this. It's just an opportunity to run numbers up and be an entertainer.
Yeah.
And the more lies, outrageous lies you tell about them, the more money you can make, right?
Fact, they never should have came to my house in the first place. Fact, if they hadn't came to my house, they wouldn't have put themselves on the video camera and in my music career. All of this is their fact. All of this is their fault. And they have the audacity to sue me. These people and you are the predators and the victim at the same time.
So what they did, searching your house, gave you the right to do everything you
Under the circumstance that I got freedom of speech, after they run around my house with guns and kick down my door, I got the right to kick a can in my backyard, use my freedom of speech, turn my bad times into a good time. Yes, I do. And I think I'm a sport for doing so because I don't go to their house, kick down their doors, flip them off on their surveillance cameras, then try to play the victim and sue them.
You were at Lisa Phillips's deposition, correct?
Yes, sir.
In your lawyer's office?
Yes, sir.
Same office where you filmed part of that video last Friday?
Yes, sir.
And you saw how upset she was when she was answering your lawyer's questions about how this had affected her, right?
Yes, yes.
And you saw your attorney say, do we need to take a break?
Yes.
And you saw her say, no, let's go on and get this over with.
Yes, sir.
You saw all that.
Yes.
You knew she was upset.
Just like she knew I was upset when she was shooting my AR-15 with her hand around the trigger shooting. Just like she knew I was upset when she cut my cameras. But I'm not a person. She is. So I'm sorry for being a victim. Let's talk about the predators.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Bill.
So you saw all that. You saw how upset she was. You heard the testimony about her children. You heard the testimony at the depositions about Randy Newland's daughter who came home upset. You heard all that.
What?
But you're still posting stuff about
Yeah,
it.
because I understand it was Randy's fault and all of their fault for coming to my house in the first place. So if they hadn't came to my house, the children wouldn't be saying nothing. None of this would be going home if they did their research and did things right.
Didn't even know.
So all of this is their fault. And now they want to sue me for their mistake.
Dave Chappelle thing for a minute. I ain't know Dave was in Ohio. Like niggas come to Ohio.
Anything that could change your mind about
came to Ohio.
what you're doing to these deputies?
Is there anything that can change my mind about the fact that they shouldn't have been at my house in the first place? Is there anything that can change my mind about how my money shouldn't have been touched in the first place? No.
That's all the questions I have. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Make sure y'all like and subscribe in the chat on YouTube. Like and subscribe. We're watching the Afroman. We got a few more minutes. Let me see.
Okay, so I was actually going to not do cross with Mr. Foreman this time. I was going to hold off until our case in chief.
Yeah, I just offered you the chance to do that.
Because I got high. We gotta see the videos. I need to see the actual.
So you'll likely see Mr. Foreman again. This was an examination on the plaintiff's case. You're going to get to hear his testimony on his case. There's your explanation. Thanks, Mr. Foreman. You can stand up.
Plaintiff's rest subject to the admission of all our exhibits.
Because I got high, them niggas shouldn't have fucked with his shit, bro. Now you gonna be mad because you a pedophile. That's what they do though. That's typical white boys in America, dog. Like, play the victim, nigga. You want to be head honcho, fuck shit up. Now you getting exposed. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. I was gonna go and then I got high. Let's see, what am I looking? Bro, man. Cause he done put out some new songs too. Let me see. Oh, this song was 2 years ago.
Will you help me repair my gate? Will you help me repair my door? Did you find what you was looking for? Will you help me repair my gate and door? Would you like a slice of lemon pound cake? You can take as much as you wanna take. There must be a big mistake. Would you like to have a slice of my lemon pound cake? The warrant said narcotics and kidnapping. The warrant said narcotics and kidnapping. Are you?
I can't play the whole thing because they gonna block me on social. Let me see. 3 days. He said the way he was telling that little boy butt.
Mine eyes seen the corruption of the Adam County cops, stealing money, stealing cake when they make they traffic stops. First they screw you, then they sue you, play games and dismiss your claims. The proof's on the internet. Afroman will bring it to ya. Afroman is gonna do ya. Afroman is gonna gonna screw ya. My proof's on the internet. Mine eyes have seen informants get busted with felonies. Tell the cops I'm a kidnapper and I sell a lot of keys. Raid my house and then get pissed, cause the dungeon don't exist. My proof's on the internet. Afroman will bring it to ya. Afroman is gonna do ya. Afroman is gonna screw ya. My proof's on the internet. My gate don't operate and my door is on the floor.
Ohio been on fuck shit. Like, just look at them dudes. Them dudes was a bunch of losers. They found out that Afroman lived there, and he's the because I got high guy. He gotta have a lot of drugs. Oh, he got kids. Like, come on, bro. And they've spent tons of money, energy. Now he got them on camera looking like idiots. Like 286,000 views. This one was 2 years ago, 1.1 million views. In Adams County, it's not a big county. Like, this dude got 7.8K views.
If you haven't heard what's going on with the Afroman trial, well, you were in for a treat, because this civil lawsuit is absolutely insane. Afroman is a musician and a rapper, and he made a song, multiple music videos about something that was going on in his county there in Adams County in Ohio. Now, with that being said, there is a lot going on with the police and the sheriff's department in that county. They were upset about these music videos because a lot of them were depicted in these music videos. You even had one officer who was crying and upset about the way she was depicted in the music video. So we're going to get into the story here. I'm going to read you guys the background, and we're actually going to hear about what's going on in this court case as well. Check it out.
And the trial against a famous rapper in Adams County begins this week. Afroman being sued by several sheriff deputies there. This all stems from a raid on his home back in 2022.
They got a narcotics warrant. Okay, I get it. I'm Afroman. I sing about marijuana.
All right, so let's break this all down for you. Adams County deputies, they did not find any illegal material, and Afroman was not charged. A year later, the rapper used footage from the raid in a music video, and after that video went viral, the deputies seen in footage filed a lawsuit claiming that it subjected them to ridicule, mental distress, and danger. They also accused Afroman of making false statements. A trial is expected to start Tuesday.
Okay, and the trial has started. We're actually on day 2. And once this video and this live stream is done, I'll actually redirect you guys over there so you can start watching day 2, because this trial,
bro, this shit is comedy. Oh, this is the girl crying.
Our next witness, judge, is Lieutenant Lisa Phillips.
Can you get through your direct by 4:15 to 4:30?
That may be difficult.
Can you give me somebody you can get through?
I think I can get through my direct, judge.
That's the goal. Thank you. Good.
See these white ladies.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give, show the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, as this issue, swear to God? Sir, thank you. You may see it.
Thank you, Your Honor. Would you introduce yourself to the jury, please?
Lisa Phillips,
And Lisa, where do you live?
Adams County,
How long have you lived in Adams County?
at least 24 years or so.
And what do you do for a living?
I'm a deputy sheriff.
When did you start your career in law enforcement?
2001.
And what were you doing at that time?
I graduated high school in 2000, went to the police academy,
Well, what academy did you go to?
Greenfield Police Academy in Hillsborough,
And how long have you known you wanted to be a police officer?
since I was a kid.
What was your first position then out of the academy?
Part-time West Union Police Department.
And then when did you become, was your next job a deputy sheriff?
Yes, sir.
When did you start as a deputy sheriff?
September of 2002.
And you have family here in Adams County?
Yeah. Yes.
You have a husband?
Yes, sir.
You have a child?
Yes, sir.
How old is your child?
She's 21.
And did she go to school here in Adams County?
Yes, sir.
you have other family in the area?
I got grandma and cousins and family like that.
Oh, family.
And did you ever serve as a school resource officer?
Yes, sir, I did.
Tell us about that.
I took the job full time at the sheriff's office, the school resource officer. So I started off as deputy sheriff, school resource officer. Then was there for the kids, keep the kids safe, out of any kind of danger. I also was there for the kids, as far as bonding with the kids, keeping them, as far as like way of life, just to be somebody else to be there, Sometimes they need somebody to talk to. I did that quite a bit.
And did you sometimes greet the kids when they got dropped off at school?
In the morning, I directed traffic at school.
And did you have occasion to know any of Mr. Foreman's children?
I don't know him by name, but I've let him out of the vehicle before. Or not let him out, but greet him.
Oh, don't be
And is that part of your?
I was called in. I wasn't actually working.
You weren't on duty?
No, sir.
And is that part of your job? Even if you're off duty, if you need to be called in for something, you drop everything and go do it?
Yes.
Was Mr. Foreman home during the warrant execution?
No, sir.
Were any of his children present?
Not initially.
Did you see any of his children that night?
In the vehicle with their mother.
Just to clear that up, can you tell us what happened?
Come in the driveway, and I was on the outer post of the house as far as like the perimeter area. And she pulled up the kids, and I went over and spoke with her, and I told her it probably wouldn't be good for the kids to see us, So they wouldn't be there to upset or anything.
You know whether the children live there or do they live somewhere else?
They live up the road, up down the roof there.
With their mother?
Yes.
So then did they leave, or did the children never went into the house or anything?
No, sir.
Did you take any money that night?
Yes, sir.
Sometime after this warrant was executed, did you start becoming aware of things Mr. Foreman was posting about you on the internet?
Yes, sir, I did.
We have some exhibits that we want to show you. Do you have them lined? Do you have them lined up, Natalie?
I haven't pulled up.
Okay.
No, they won't play.
Yeah. Let's go to the first one. Is that the order that we put them in?
I have the order.
Okay. Which number is this?
This is number 19.
Thank you. So Lisa, we're showing you what we've marked as Exhibit 19. This looks like a post from September 17th, 2022. Was that shortly after the execution of the warrant?
Yes, sir.
Can we blow it up just a little bit?
Adam, KK County.
Okay, down
No, Lickham, low police.
near the bottom of that first paragraph, just go down a little bit more, right there. Has anybody in Adams County verified her vagina? If you haven't, you should, or she might. I'll walk out something bigger than yours. If this lady is your friend, I wouldn't leave her alone in my house. Or I'll put it this way, if you leave and your video system is messed up, et cetera, et cetera. And then down below a little further, my name for this particular officer is Lieutenant Mona Lickham-Low Lisa. When did you first see this posting, if you recall?
Shortly after the warrant.
That was
what?
Over three and a half years ago. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Let's go to the next one.
Yo,
And you see
I
that
gotta
it says
get
disconnect
more.
after stealing my money.
What's the number?
Sorry, exhibit minus 20, Your Honor. Thank you.
But I just reached out to him too, by the
Is
way.
suing me for humiliating her, giving her mental stress, ridicule, and the loss of her reputation. She doesn't like being called Lieutenant Mona Lickham-Low Lisa full of shit Phillips, but she loves stealing money and disconnecting cameras of law-abiding, tax-paying citizens. That's March 25th of 2023. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Go to the next one.
He's just kicking our ass.
Which number is this?
Number 21 is the video.
The other thing, they want to do shit and don't want their face on it.
Lisa, stop looking at pussy back there. That's the problem. You always look at pussy and you don't even know how many pussies you lifted. You don't even know how many video cameras you have disconnected.
What number? That was 21?
Yes.
Did you see that video when it was posted?
Yes, sir.
Why did you see the
Let's go to
video?
the next one.
Does she following?
Lisa, Lisa, ex-wife just like Lisa. Lisa, jealous of me.
I don't even know what the record needs to know. I work with me here. Go with it. 22.
Came over with the low Lisa. Lisa, it's like just like Lisa. She jealous of me and my love child. That's why she is in my camp.
Was that the same one over again, or was that a different one?
That is number 22.
That's
the
22.
Same, yes.
Same one. All right. Lieutenant Lickenlow Lisa ate my ex-wife just like pizza. Is that what you understood that to say?
Yes, sir.
Let's go to the next one.
Lieutenant Lickenlow
This is
Lisa.
23.
Mother, look at low Lisa. Lisa, it's like just like Lisa. She jealous of me and my love child. That's why she is in my camera.
That's the same thing on a different platform. Do you know what? Can you tell what platform that is?
Search YouTube.
And the other one was Instagram. But let's don't play it. Just pull it up. See if we can.
Number 22.
It's number 22. Yeah.
Don't play it.
Is that,
22, yeah.
that's YouTube.
Yes.
I'm just trying to figure out which two platforms. Were they both the same platform?
Do you want me to go to the next, or both of those are both YouTube?
Oh, okay.
And then there's more exhibits of this.
Yes. I don't know why we had two of the same one, but I'm sorry. Let's go. Let's.
So for the record, are we saying that Exhibit 22 and Exhibit 23 are duplicates?
They're not duplicates. They are postings of the same video. One was posted on October 4th, 2022. One was posted on October 23rd, 2022. They were posted on his YouTube account on two separate occasions. One is like
Can
that.
we clear that up for the record, Your Honor?
If you just did.
I don't know when the first one was posted when.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
You're thinking like I'm thinking. Go ahead.
Thank you, Judge. Let's play the next.
24.
Yes. Exhibit 24.
Lisa, it's like just like Lisa. She jealous of me and my love child. That's why she is in my camera.
When was that posted? Did you see update? Is that a different date? Oh, should have the witness testify probably ideally.
This is September 25th of 2022.
Okay. And is that a different? That's a different date from the other two?
Yes.
Thank you. Next exhibit. Number
25.
Number 25.
Lisa, it's like just like Lisa. She jealous of me and my love child. That's why she is in my camera.
And is that a different date? Whoops. Was that a different date? Well, it's not up there anymore, is it? Or, okay. Can you tell, Lisa? Sorry.
Yes, sir. It's October 4th of 2022.
Thank you. Different date.
Body
Okay.
right now.
Next exhibit. Is that it? All right. We have another video.
Mine and you.
We're ready to do that?
Yes.
I'm just assuming I'm going to object.
Yes, you're going to object to
This
this.
is the one I'm going to renew my objection on.
So don't play it. Just tell me what it is first. What is this?
This is a video that was posted, I believe, last Friday. Yes.
I will enter an objection on this. The law has changed. As I said, in April of 2025, a new law was passed, an anti-SLAPP law, which would apply to this, and therefore would have a completely different standard of evidence, and we would renew our objection to it being admitted or even posted.
That law does not apply to this video or to this case, Judge.
Your Honor, that pertains to matters of public, for the press. It also covers artistic expression and stuff. Just to have no analysis is not an answer to the question. But I will renew it.
A really good objection. I'll be consistent. Overrule it. We'll play it. And you might be right. It's rule it. I think I'm right.
That's why lawyers are important too.
Number 26.
He's going to learn the law.
And this is not 26. I apologize, Your Honor. It's 34. Sorry, we're out of order because of the way that they.
34.
Then for the record, Your Honor, my objection would pertain to Exhibit 34, just for the record.
Did you see this already, Mr. Osborne?
Your Honor, when they listed it, I did find it and take a look at it. I was never supplied a copy, but I did find a copy on YouTube.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Came to town. She left the percent all around. From Adams County to the 275. Licking every pussy alive. Come on. Lisa, look at my waist now. Pussy high. Lisa, Lisa, look at my waist now. Pussy high. Lisa, you really don't know her. I noticed her voice is a few octaves lower. She's not celebrity. She's not too fine, but she's might about something that's bigger than mine. Liquor mode. Lisa, pussy high. Lisa, she made my house. She just selected my camera. She went down on my spouse. I just don't know what I'm gonna do. Y'all keep on laughing. She's gonna eat your wife's pussy. When Liquor Lisa joined the Adams County Sheriff's Department, Lisa was complaining that she was munching on their wise carpet. Lisa lit them slow, Lisa lit them fast, Lisa lit that to stand, Lisa lit that, lit them up. Lisa, lit them up, Lisa, pussy high. Lisa, come on, Lisa. Full of shit, Phillips. She'll pull you woman over, spread her legs and fill your lips.
Right. Oh, that's great. Yeah, they fucked with that bitch, bro. Like, they thought they would click. It's not even that bad, bro. It's not too for real. Look, she is. Look. Look at her. Look at her. Look at her. She's going on right now. Town. That's what you gotta understand. These cameras is powerful, bro. And Derek Chappell, the whole thing.
I did not have sex. I did not have a penis. I should have proof I don't have a penis. Or I have a penis here and the rest of the guys I work with. And kill people over the those county complaint. Obviously, it's right here.
Read this book.
Lisa, I'm sorry. I didn't know that hurt you like that. You know, you kind of intimidated. I know you. I'm sorry. You got raided my house. You knocked on my door.
Creative artists.
I would never shoot you, or I would never try to punch you. I thought I cracked some musical jokes that I didn't know they hurt you that bad. I'm sorry. I think you're a nice little lady. I didn't know you was a lot. I'm sorry. I was just having fun with the bad situation. I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. Oh, man, Jesus. Hang on, let's take a little break, everybody.
You watch.
Wait a minute. What the fuck? Oh, this. I did a show one night, and this girl said, "Hey, Afroman, I want to give you some pussy."
I need the yes, damages. Restraining order on all levels. And you might be able to sue them individually.
Okay. Is this part of it? That it?
I'll give you 15 minutes tomorrow to start. We're done. She's still under direct. You're directed not to coach her testimony. You can talk about other matters, but not her
Wow. Hey, leave a man's camera alone. All right. You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing to raid my man, and then you're going to mess up his cameras. He said there was more money in his pockets than that when he got his money. So, you know, that's on them. Mona Lisa. That's wild. But that's Ohio cannabis right there, right? Because I got high. Because I got high. Do 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 do. I was gonna go before I got high. Ohio been heavy in the news lately, bro. Between the Wexner, Epstein, we had a meteor. The wind. It was 80 degrees yesterday. Well, 2 days ago. Snowing yesterday. Trump was here like last week in Cincinnati. But, bro, a lot of shit going on. Well, I think we could end the stream there because I can't top that. You know, I can't. I don't got it in me right now. That was masterpiece. And that's the thing about people in Ohio too. That racism and ignorance in these small ass towns. We not living in 1920 no more. We got cameras now. Niggas got cameras now. You can't do it now. That nigga said, I brought the news and my attorney to the jail because I ain't want to turn up killed in the back of the jail somewhere. Because that's exactly what they do in these small towns. Motherfucker disappear. And then everybody in the town is family. So thoughts and prayers. Man, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all follow us on Instagram, Substack, LinkedIn. Follow the podcast, all the streaming platforms, Ohio Cannabis Report. Also, just dropped my first personal podcast in a while on the Gerald Moore Jr. show. So that's a little bit more personal, you know what I mean? But those are all on all podcast streaming platforms. Watch our latest interview with Senator Bill DeMora. And sorry about that. Joey Elwood. Also, March 20th, SB 56 is scheduled to go into effect unless we get the signatures. Somebody said on here we get there's a 10-day window for them to collect up to 250,000 signatures. So be on the lookout for that. My little sister's coming into town, so I don't know if I'll be able to do some content. I'll find a way. Friday. Yeah, man, stay blessed. You know, spread love. The problem, man. Bruh, of course they mad. You got to think. They had to coordinate that, right? So they spent time coordinating that. They had to pull in all them people to work. It was about 10 of them. They had their big guns. They had the cars. Like, come on, we about to go raid this joint. We about to execute this warrant. And it's a big fish, right? Because, again, what do cops do? If they had found a big stash, some trees, they'd have been taking pictures with it, right? Look at what we just did. Look at this bus. Now, on the flip side, y'all look stupid as fuck because you didn't find nothing but a little weed and a little cash. And it was all on camera. So now you can't sit there and lie. You can't sit there and be like, no, we ain't know. Like, no, we see the gate that y'all crushed. We see the door that y'all kicked in. We see y'all going through his clothes, his money. We see you turn off the camera. Nigga, we see this. You can't hide. Like, you can't throw the rock and hide the hand and be like, now we suing him because he done put us in videos on YouTube to then make money to repair his house. The audacity of you motherfuckers. You didn't have to show up. You created a warrant. You ain't have no real reason, no real suspicions. Somebody told you something. It was a whistleblower or something. You get a warrant, bust in the house, don't find nothing. Now you on camera. Now you on the news. Now you on Ohio Cannabis Report and my personal Instagram or TikTok. Some random dude. You got people doing look. There was mad people doing look, this lady did a whole Afroman recap trial. To go 41,000. Look. She got 41,000 views.
Is being sued by 7 police officers after they raided his house back in August of 2022, and he later used the footage from that raid to make songs, music videos, and merch about the officers. So let's get into day one. The opening statements were pretty quick. The plaintiff's lawyer started off by explaining that one of the main claims in this trial is for defamation, and because the officers are public officials, the standard to sue somebody for defamation is higher than it would be for regular people. In their case, they have to prove what's called actual malice. And that just means they have to show that Afroman knew the statements he was making were false and he still made them anyway.
If he knows they weren't true, that's actual malice. For public officials, he can't do that, and he did. These deputies asked the defendant years ago to stop these posts, to take them down. He didn't. He ramped them up.
You don't have to.
None of them had any idea that by doing their duties that day, their lives would be turned upside down.
And as a reminder, the officers are saying that Afroman made several defamatory statements against them, including calling them all thieves, calling one of them a PDF, and then making comments about the female officer's gender and orientation. And just so you're tracking, Afroman calls them all thieves because during the raid on his house, thousands of dollars were taken. But after no charges were filed against him, the money was returned. But according to Afroman, $400 of that money was missing. And so he says they stole it. Here are some clips of the plaintiff's attorney explaining the defamation claims.
Shortly after the cash was returned to Mr. Foreman, he began claiming on the internet and every place he could that the sheriff's deputies had stolen $400 of his money. There was an independent investigation done by Claremont County, but that didn't keep him from continuing to declare that Brian Newland in particular and the rest of these deputies are thieves. He called Brian Newland a pedophile, not called him. He posted it, published it all over the internet. Mr. Foreman posted that Lisa Phillips likes to have sex with other women. He used
freedom of speech.
Other words, she ate my ex-wife just like pizza.
She ate my ex-wife
over and over, thousands of times on the internet. Mr. Foreman also targeted Deputy Randy Walters for special treatment. Mr. Foreman declares, I used to fuck his wife. I used to fuck his wife doggy style. Justin Cooley was targeted by Mr. Foreman as a thief. Sean Cooley, Mike Eastep, and Sean Grooms all suffered by being called.
He's a rapper, bro.
And at the end of the opening, the
rap
attorney told the jury that they're seeking to get 7 figures in damages. Now let's move on to the opening statement from Afroman's attorney. In his opening, he focused on highlighting that this case is really about freedom of speech, artistic expression, and the rights of American citizens to criticize government officials.
Have you ever heard of a law enforcement officer suing a person for making a social commentary on them? Or have you ever heard of an officer suing anybody because someone said they didn't like what they had to say. Officers deal with it all the time.
Yep.
You don't sue people. You respect the freedom of this country and move on. The evidence will show that Mr. Foreman's statements fall into three categories. The first, many of these statements are his opinions. They are Joe's subjective views about his encounter with these public officials and the execution of their duties. Second, many of the statements are exaggerated, rhetorical exaggeration, as you might expect from a musician. The third is the extent that any of the statements assert facts. They relate to matters of public concern. Matters of public concern are exempted. These statements address how the search was conducted, what actions were taken, and how Mr. Foreman experienced this as a homeowner. You may not like the speech you hear, but it's protected.
Okay, so the first witness of the day was an officer by the name of Brian Newland, and he's the officer who actually obtained the search warrant for Afroman's house, and he's also the officer that counted the money that was seized from Afroman's house. Now, on direct examination, he walked the jurors through how the money from Afroman's house was collected, and then he explained why there was a $400 difference between what Afroman received back versus what was taken from his house.
I counted out the money, put it in an evidence bag, and then at the end of the search, I transported it back to the sheriff's office.
Has Mr. Foreman accused you of taking his money?
Yes. Once the allegation was made, the sheriff contacted the Claremont County Sheriff's Office to conduct an independent investigation. They were to determine that I miscounted the money during my original count.
Did they conclude that any money had been taken?
They said that there was not any money taken.
Did that stop Mr. Foreman from continuing to claim you had stolen $400?
No.
Did you take any of the money?
No.
Did you ever take any money from the evidence bags?
No.
Did you ever take any of Mr. Foreman's money?
No.
Now, in addition to being called a thief, Brian is also suing Afroman for calling him a PDF. Afroman has even nicknamed Brian Baby Making Brian Newland.
This is the uneducated can't count file police officer that stole my money. His name is Baby Making Brian Child. Newborn baby mama, newborn Newland, Detective Brian Newland. I have a song coming out about him. The chorus goes like this. I pledge allegiance to the flag. Brian Newland is a flag. He used to play with little toys. Now he plays with little boys. Watch your little boys around Brian Newland. He's very bold. He will fondle little boys in front of you in broad daylight. This is a public service announcement. Stay safe. Did I read that correctly?
Yes.
Afroman also made a post about Brian's brother engaging in inappropriate behavior with some minors, and then he made some other claims about Brian.
So I'm not going to read this whole thing, but it says in part, if you pay me back the money you stole from me, I won't tell the world about your foul Pilgrim family, you know, like your brother. That's named Will You Stop Sending Pick Williams, aka William Newland. And is that a picture of your brother?
Yes.
And was your brother convicted of a misdemeanor?
Yes.
What was that?
I don't recall what the charge was.
He used to do hard drugs. Did you ever do hard drugs, Detective Newland?
No.
Now he steals money from traffic stops under the camouflage of law enforcement. Did you ever steal money from a traffic stop?
No.
Did you ever steal money from anybody?
No.
No.
Detective Newland, can you see what that sign says?
Yes.
What is it? Would you read it for us?
They stole my money.
How can you take me to court when you stole my money and it's $400 short? You vandalized my property, and you filed a lawsuit properly. I'm a rapper, so I'm rapping. What? I can't talk about what happened.
And that was just published in the last few days, as far as you know?
Yes.
What effect did it have on you?
I was angry, sad, depressed.
I was angry,
upset,
depressed.
I didn't find it funny at all. I work in law enforcement, have kids, have friends, family. I was involved in the schools. Yesterday, there was a cheer competition in North Adams. I walked my 3-year-old son in to watch his sister cheer, and somebody asked me if that was another little boy I'm touching.
Yesterday?
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Another one I can recall was meet the team night for my daughters. We was in line to get slushies, and people were making comments behind me. Just called me a thief, and why was I there? And then started playing music, playing some of his songs on their phones. I ended up leaving the sheriff's office just because of this.
Now, on cross-examination, Afroman's attorney almost immediately keys in on the $400 discrepancy.
So there was this question about a return on a search warrant. Can you explain what that is?
It's just an itemized list of properties seized from location during a search warrant service.
Did it include an amount of money seized on it?
Yes.
Does that amount of money match what was written on the evidence bag?
Yes.
So as far as the court knows with the return, more money was taken than what was returned.
That's the way it appeared, yes.
Did you put in an amended search warrant return?
I don't believe so.
So you never corrected your statement to the court?
Correct.
Okay.
Now listen, the best defense to defamation is the truth. So if Afroman's attorney can convince the jurors that at a minimum, he believed that the officers really stole his money, he could be cleared of this one. Then the attorney pressed Newland about the statements regarding his brother.
Do you have a brother that worked in law enforcement?
Yes.
Was he the chief of People's
He was.
Police? Why did he leave?
He was charged with some kind of crime through the Adams County Prosecutor's Office. He was subsequently convicted, and he resigned or quit sometime during the process.
And it is a fair statement to say it involved minor children?
I really don't know anything about the investigation. Once this, his issues happened, we kind of just drifted apart again.
So you drifted apart once
You
you
don't
had
know,
a criminal
nigga.
problem.
Correct.
You know, nigga.
I don't know, Judge. It's sounding like Afroman wasn't too far off.
Nah, don't tell me
Has
you
anybody
fucked
asked
it
you
up.
about that prior to 2022 when he was charged?
No.
No one asked you about your brother?
It was just on a smaller scale. I was asked about it, and then that was it. It wasn't shared, and I wasn't put in music videos and everything else because of that reason.
But your brother's criminal charge and everything was in the front page of the local newspaper, correct?
Yeah.
So everybody in Adams County knew that your brother was charged.
Correct.
So what are we talking about, Brian?
Exactly. Nigga, just
Next, the attorney challenges whether Newland's reputation was actually damaged by Afroman or if it was already damaged.
Have you ever been accused before of stealing money from traffic stops?
Yes.
I know we need to
It
get
was
them
not Mr.
involved.
Foreman that accused you, correct?
Correct.
Like all of these celebrities,
Now you're
man.
claiming that
I mean, you got
by
Dave
being called a
Chappelle,
thief,
you got
you were
all of
painted
these
in a false light.
athletes,
Yes.
all of these comedians,
what exactly does
musicians,
that
and
mean?
all of them.
That I was being painted in a false
state level
light.
politics.
You've been
All
accused
have
of stealing from
massive
traffic
handles
stops before.
Never to this
and
extent.
full.
Okay.
Never to this broad,
But you would agree there is some similarity here. Money was seized here too.
Correct.
All right. Next up was Officer Lisa Phillips. And again, the claims for her is that Afroman has made many statements about her gender, her orientation, and he said that she looks and sounds like a man. So to start off her direct examination, Lisa talks about her family life.
You have a husband?
Yes, sir.
You have a child?
Yes, sir.
How old is your child?
She's 21.
And then the attorney jumps to the very first post Afroman made about Lisa.
Okay, down near the bottom of that first paragraph, has anybody in Adams County verified her vagina? If you haven't, you should, or she might whop out something bigger than yours. And then down below a little further, my name for this particular officer is Lieutenant Mona Lickumlow Lisa.
Now, if it's not clear, Afroman has created nicknames for each of the officers. And for Lisa, he calls her Lieutenant Lickumlow Lisa.
Mona Lickumlow Lisa.
And in the song, While You Disconnected My Video Camera, he repeatedly calls her this name and makes some other statements. So that video is played for the jury.
Lieutenant Lickumlow Lisa, stop looking at back here. That's the problem. Lieutenant Mona Lickumlow Lisa, my ex-wife just like Lisa. She jealous of me.
Lieutenant Lickumlow Lisa ate my ex-wife just like pizza. Is that what you understood that to say?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'd sue his ass too.
Let's go to the next one. That's the same thing on a different platform. Do you know what? Can you tell what platform that is?
Oh my God.
Search YouTube.
Exhibit 20, number 20.
Child, they ended up playing the entire 15-minute video. Phillips will be back tomorrow to
Oh shit. Lieutenant Lickumlow Lisa. Man, Wiz, come on. All right, man. We out. I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Ohio Cannabis Social Equity Forum, April 4th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Go get your tickets. It's free to the community. 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Columbus, Ohio. Come network. Come politic. Come connect. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm still looking for a few more community sponsors. Still looking for a couple more social equity sponsors. $50 for the community sponsor, $250 for the social equity sponsors. We'll promote logos on all of our Ohio Cannabis Report social media. I'll also do an interview with you on our YouTube channel and our other social media platforms. And this is not going to be the last one. So we're going to do, I'm planning out a series of these forums, different styles. So we'll see. But just want to start having some more community conversations around cannabis, politics, and some of the, social issues. But again, thank y'all for tuning in, man. Peace.